6 things your eye color might reveal about your health and personality. Number 1. Dark eyes, less likely to have macular degeneration. First and foremost, your eye color meaning can give insight into your overall eye health. People with light-colored eyes had twice the risk of age-related macular degeneration of those with dark or intermediate iris colors, found a study of 171 participants published in the journal Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology. A dark iris blocks more ultraviolet light, says optometrist Christopher Quinn, OT, Secretary-Treasurer of the American Optometric Association. UV light is a risk factor for macular degeneration. UV light is a risk factor for macular degeneration. Extra light that gets into the eyes of people with light-colored irises may cause them to have more retinal degeneration. Number 2. Dark eyes, lower melanoma risk. Dark-colored irises might indicate you have a lower risk of skin cancer. In a study published in Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention, researchers took DNA samples and gathered sun exposure data from nearly 500 white children, ages 6 to 10, for 4 years. Children with a blue eye gene were more likely to develop moles compared to children without the gene. The number of moles people develop during childhood can predict the risk of melanoma in adulthood. Other research has found that people with blue or green eyes are at greater risk of melanomas of the eye, likely because they have less light-absorbing pigment to shield the eyes from sun damage. But no matter what your eye color meaning may infer, it's always a good idea to protect your eyes with large sunglasses or UV-absorbent contact lenses, says Quinn. Number 3. Light eyes, more competitive. Australian researchers asked 336 participants of white European descent to complete questionnaires designed to measure personality factors. Agreeable factors were determined by how closely participants identified with statements such as "I make people feel at ease" or "I see myself as someone who is considerate and kind to almost everyone." Those with dark eyes were more likely to be associated with words like generosity, friendliness, and empathy than light-eyed people, whose personalities were pegged less agreeable and more competitive. Though more research is needed on this eye color meaning, researchers suggest the results could have to do with evolutionary roots. Thousands of years ago, Northern Europeans may have found light-colored eyes exotic or more attractive and ideal for mating, possibly giving blue-eyed people a competitive edge. Number 4. Dark eyes, considered more trustworthy. In a study published in PLOS One, researchers asked 238 volunteers to rate photographs of people for trustworthiness. Overall, participants rated brown-eyed faces as more trustworthy than blue-eyed faces. However, when researchers digitally changed the eye colors, the ratings remained consistent. This led researchers to analyze the correlation between eye color and facial features. They discovered that men with dark eyes tend to have more additional trustworthy traits than those with light eyes, such as bigger mouths, broader chins, and bigger eyes, features that mirror how faces naturally express happiness. More research is needed, especially to determine this eye color meaning for women, who didn't show the same correlation between trustworthiness and face shape. Number 5. Light eyes, less likely to have vitiligo. In a University of Colorado School of Medicine study, researchers tracked nearly 3,000 people with vitiligo, an autoimmune disease in which a person's immune system attacks healthy pigment cells and causes blotchy skin. Researchers identified 13 genes linked to a predisposition to vitiligo. They found that people with the disease were significantly less likely to have blue or gray eyes than those without it. Of the vitiligo patients, who were all of non-Hispanic European ancestry, 43% had dark eyes, 30% had green or hazel eyes, and 27% had blue or gray eyes. This differed from typical eye color distribution among Americans of non-Hispanic European descent, in which 52% have blue or gray eyes and only 27% have brown or tan eyes. Vitiligo patients are at higher risk for other autoimmune diseases such as lupus, type 1 diabetes, and thyroid disease. Number 6. Dark eyes, drink less alcohol. If your blue-eyed pals seem to drink more than you, this connection may actually have a scientific link.